Bridezilla ruins her own wedding. Demands bridal party pay her cancelled wedding. Plus updates. So, my friend Dana, female 29, was supposed to be getting married this past Sunday, January 14th. The wedding got cancelled and things had gotten very crazy. Dana was getting married to Josh, male 32. She was still in college with me and asked a few friends from college, myself included, to be her bridal party. Now, from the start, this wedding has been a disaster. I'm going to just point out a few of the crazy stuff we dealt with. 1. She refused to invite my best friend, who she's supposedly good friends with, because she thinks we're lesbian lovers. We're not. 2. She had us go to the dress fitting, and then demanded each of us pay $2,000 each for our dresses. Apparently, she had a specific style she wanted. I can afford it, but I won't buy a 2K dress for one event. Some of the girls at the bridal party don't have that flexibility with money. 3. Apparently, Josh couldn't invite any single females that were not blood relatives of him. So if he had any female friends, they were axed. 4. One of the girls at the bridal party doesn't drink because of her religion. Dana accused her of being pregnant in front of her parents and almost got her kicked out of her house. She was not pregnant, and she dropped from the bridal party. She was a class act though, and never bad-talked Dana. Just said she couldn't make it. We found out about it pretty much on the day of the wedding. 5. She tried to make us cancel our holidays with our families to instead go with her to a destination bachelorette party. I work full-time even during holidays, so I told her that was not happening. More of the bridesmaids said similar things and she dropped it. That's just 5 things of countless drama this wedding was having before the day. Now, the meat of the story comes on the wedding day. The day started horrible. Dana was having a meltdown because apparently the flower girl had to cancel because she has chickenpox. She was threatening to sue the mother unless she brought the sick 3-year-old to the wedding. Josh apparently was able to calm her down from this starter outburst, and we began preparations. The whole day she had constant outbursts. She made people cry, like wedding staff and bridesmaids. The maid of honor deserves a medal for the amount of diplomacy and BS control she had to do. I, for the most part, took the easy route and decided to work outside a bridal suite, like checking flowers, making sure food was okay. Basically any excuse not to be around bride. Eventually, I had my makeup and hair done. Then the bride asked for a little bit of time alone to decompress from the stress. We didn't even fight it. You could not see a group of women run faster away. Wedding was starting in 30 minutes, so we figured she would be fine alone for that little. I spent those 30 minutes just sitting in the chapel with my phone. It had to be about 5 minutes before the start of the wedding when maid of honor came over to tell me the wedding was cancelled. I asked her what happened, and she said Dana was having a quickie with Josh's uncle in the room. Josh caught them. I just stared at the maid of honor with my mouth pretty much about to reach the floor. She told me to run, and that she was trying to get as many people out before things exploded. So I quickly got my purse, gathered the 2 bridesmaids that were carpooling with me, and we left like the devil was after us. I checked with the other bridesmaid and all had escaped. That night, I called the maid of honor to check what happened and the tea was bad. Apparently, and rightfully, Josh called off the wedding, called her a few names, told off his uncle, and has since left with his mates to, I hope, have the biggest single man party ever. I feel so bad for him. He's an absolute gem of a man. He apparently also told Dana and her parents that she will be paying the cancellation fees. And according to maid of honor, Dana's father told her in front of everyone that she was paying it on her own for being a slut. I thought that was the end of it. I made a choice to separate myself from this mess. Until I got a call from Dana not even an hour ago, demanding $5,000 to help pay her cancellation fees. According to Dana, it was our duty as the bridal party to pay her cancellation fees. I obviously told her no, and that she might as well lose my number. I am never speaking to this woman again. This has been pretty much the reaction of all bridesmaids and the maid of honor. By the way, maid of honor, Josh's older sister. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Hold up, back up. This is a whole high tea serving right here. I have heard sex is good to unstress, but this is a whole other level. Also, props for Josh's sister. Woman is worth her weight in gold. I mean, the sad part? She had her makeup and hair done, and we left dressed and ready. So yeah, she was wearing her wedding dress for this. Damn, She really didn't think her husband would notice that some other dude had just nutted in her? Lol. What a sloppy bride. Well, that was a ride. You do right in telling her to leave you alone. Actions have consequences. Oh, it's been the longest 3 months of my life, not gonna lie. To be frank, even if the wedding went through, I was planning to cut contact. She was a nightmare. It seems unfair, but I expect once her parents have calmed down that they'll likely help her pay the fees, maybe? Not that she deserves the help. I've just seen that happen once the storm is calmer. Her mom, maybe. Her dad won't. I've known them for years. Dad is very much old school, and I've never seen him cave. Ooh boy, way to start the year with a bang, if you'll pardon the pun. What an absolute crap show. Poor Josh. His sister deserves a medal for getting you all out though. Highly recommend inviting her and the other bridesmaids for drinks in a few weeks. If you happen to find out any more fallout from the disaster, then that's just a bonus. Or dinner, so the non-drinking should have been bridesmaid doesn't feel left out. We're having a barbecue next Sunday actually. Dana, of course, not included. Maid of Honor is new to the group, but we absolutely want to keep in touch with her. That's great, and maybe along the way you gals can lead Josh in the direction of a worthy girl. Not gonna lie, pretty sure half the bridal party would offer themselves as tribute. He's a good-looking guy. I don't know him that well, but we've had drinks a few times. He'll find a girl when he's ready in his nap. Small update 6 days later. Hey guys, I know a lot of people want to know what happened. After talking to Josh yesterday, he asked me to only say that he's okay, figuring things out and moving on. We're going to stay friends with him and his sister. Dana was told that no one in the group wants to interact with her, and since then it's been mostly radio silence. I can't share more about Josh's future plans as he asked me not to. He did have a good laugh at some of the comments I showed him and appreciates the support. The one detail I did get corrected on for those curious was about his uncle. He's the younger brother of Josh's mother, and he's 55 years old. I thought he was married into the family, but I got that detail wrong. I also found out the most disgusting detail is that Uncle knew Dana since she was a teenager. Dana and Josh are high school sweethearts. So yeah, I kind of feel gross knowing that. Other than that, I got a major haul of cake. So at least I got something good out of this mess. Second update 2.5 months later. Going to start by saying he's doing much better. He's moved out to a new place away from Dana and has some of his mates as roommates. He also cut contact with his uncle, as did most of his family. He's put a pause on dating for some time, considering Dana was his first and only girlfriend for years. So he needs time to heal. Dana has now become persona non grata with my friends. She even tried to move in with one of them without telling her, by appearing at 10 p.m. at night and saying, "You can't send me away this late at night." Didn't work. Don't know where she's living now, but I can say for sure she's absolutely without any doubt very much screwed. She has 4 lawsuits. One from Josh for obvious reasons, one from his sister for the dresses she bought, one from the bridesmaid she accused of being pregnant, and one from Josh's uncle since apparently Dana used his credit card. She apparently moved in with him after the wedding failed. So yeah, she threw away her life, and she's very much without support. I saw Dana's parents some days ago, and they haven't had any contact with her since the wedding. They're actually moving with their other daughter, 22, to another state. As for Josh's sister, we've been hanging out for a while. She's actually become super tight with my friends and I. We're even planning a trip sometime next year with her and her 7-year-old to Disney. And yes, we've all agreed to divide the babysitting. We offered, she didn't press us to do so. Dana is a bridezilla who didn't just ruin her own wedding, she nuked all her relationships and her life. We love to see it. Slow clap. I would pay money that there's a bunch of people who are happy to see her fall from grace. I have a couple of people in my life who will end up in the same spot. Unfortunately, I won't be close enough to witness, but I'm hoping it is just as swift and certain. Can people just stop being bridezillas for once? Cause Jesus, Dana really nuked everything. The closest I saw to a full-on bridezilla wasn't full-on crazy, just way into her own thing. She was tiki-talking maniac and thinking everyone wanted to do 10 events for her wedding and spent a crap load of money. Her parents were upper middle class, and she was the only daughter and only grandchild, and was getting a lot of family help and blowing thousands. It was more time commitment crazy than banging uncles in her wedding dress crazy. She picked pricey but not unwholly expensive dresses. I think I was told 3,500-ish. Like a lot of money, but give people a year's notice and they can afford it. She was exhausting and demanding and wanted a lot of time commitment, but not expecting everyone to spend $2,000 on a dress crazy. She was so into her own everything for my Insta followers that she forgot nobody actually cared that much. She wanted likes and views. She needed likes and views. She was at the limit you can get to before an intervention is staged. She was exhausting and I was at an arm's length from it all. Anything beyond that, it'd be a nope for me. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding after she invited my ex instead of me? So here's the tea. My sister Emily is getting married soon. We've been close our whole lives until my recent breakup with my ex Chris. Chris and I were together for 5 years and it was serious. We split up 3 months ago because Chris decided to pursue a career opportunity overseas and I wasn't willing to move. Now, Emily and Chris have always gotten along, but I never imagined she'd take his side over mine. Yesterday, I got the shock of my life. Emily calls me up and casually mentions that she has invited Chris to the wedding as a groomsman. Worse still, she tells me that because of the limited guest list, I am not invited anymore. Her reasoning? She thinks my presence alongside Chris would create drama and ruin her day. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I was supposed to pay for half of Emily's wedding. It was my gift to her, as we come from a modest background and she's always dreamt of a big wedding. Feeling betrayed and hurt, I told her that if she thinks that inviting me to accommodate my ex is okay, then she should also be fine without my financial support. Emily blew up at me, calling me petty and selfish. She said I was ruining her special day and manipulating her emotionally. Now, family members are divided, with some saying I'm justified and others saying I'm being too harsh and letting my breakup affect my sister's happiness. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole, don't bite the hand that feeds, etc., etc. Putting the ex aside, why the heck would you pay for a wedding you're uninvited from? Did the people on the sister's side not hear that? Geez, OP, you're so mean. How could you not foot half the bill? Yeah, you can't come, but family. I agree. She should tell her sister if she's swapping her for Chris, Chris should pay. Problem solved. His new overseas gig should pay well, no? This. I'm sure your sister's best new buddy will be happy to cover half of the costs for the wedding, since he's such an important part of her life. In fact, who are you, OP, to stand in the way of his chance to step up and really make her day oh so special with his very own checkbook? Seriously, the absolute nerve of some people never ceases to amaze me. If your ex was any kind of a decent person, he would have refused the offer to be a groomsman once he learned that your selfish and entitled sister decided his participation meant you weren't allowed to attend her wedding. The fact that people in your family are defending her behavior and still expect you to fork over thousands of dollars for a wedding you aren't allowed to attend is equally mind-blowing. Your sister chose your ex over you, and she should live with the consequences of her cruel decision. Don't give her a single penny, not even if she changes her mind and oh so magnanimously deigns to allow you to come after all. She showed you how she really feels about you and who she really is inside. And when people show you who they are, believe them. You're honestly better off without such toxic people in your life. I suggest you utilize the handy-dandy block feature as often as you need to in order to cut the BS out of your life. Take some of that money you are saving and take yourself on an epic vacation. Be sure to take lots and lots of happy vacation photos and tag them all "wish you were here." Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law that maybe she shouldn't get with married men next time? My brother, male 40, and his ex-wife, female 40, got divorced out of the blue. According to his ex-wife, she was always clear that she didn't want kids. I don't know the whole truth because my brother honestly avoids this question. Anyway, we were all still shocked when they got divorced because these two loved each other and were inseparable. Very soon after, my brother introduced his girlfriend to us, his very pregnant girlfriend. Math ain't mathing. Mom confronted my brother, but he said it just happened, so he contacted the ex-wife. And after some prodding, she confessed that he has been saying that he wanted children and was having anxiety because they didn't have much time left. This was 3 to 3.5 years ago. He cheated on her. She found out about it and asked for divorce. Anyway, one day after divorce was finalized, he got married to his affair partner, female 29. Now they have 2 children. My brother had changed a lot and he wasn't himself anymore. Always brooding and looking miserable. Of course, with 2 children, you have other priorities, but he became very asocial and didn't do anything outside of work. According to his new wife, he wasn't like this when she first met him. He was happy and laid back. Now they fought a lot. Or mostly, she would cry and yell at him and try to get a reaction out of him, but he wouldn't give her anything back. Then one day, he moved out and filed for divorce and shared custody. This was 2 months ago when he told us that he was getting a divorce. Now he spends his weeks without the children, with his ex-wife at her apartment. I think they have reconciled, or at least they are hooking up. I don't have much contact with him anymore because I am disgusted, but he was his old self back. Happy and open and full of life. His current wife, pending divorce, sometimes spends time at my mother's with the children. And it is great and all, but she would not stop talking about the ex-wife. This morning I was there, and as usual, she started talking about her driving by the ex-wife and seeing my brother's car. She was angry, and I get that, but I was starting to feel sick. I mean, my brother is a total C-word. But honestly, for me, she, his current wife, is close second on a C-word scale. I was thinking this to myself absently until I was brought back to the conversation when she was yelling that she felt used to produce children so his ex didn't have to. I got agitated because, while I don't understand why his ex is seeing him again, she did not use his current wife. So I very sternly and loudly said, well, maybe next time don't sleep with married men. She was shocked, then started yelling at me, and I told her that she cannot possibly not have seen that he always loved his ex-wife, and to stop lying to herself. She started crying. When she left, my mom started crying too. Then I started crying because I think I'm the a-hole too. But the problem is, none of what I said was the truth of what happened. I called my brother to yell at him and told him that he should have thought about his children instead of breaking their home. He hung up. Not a-hole. A castle built on another woman's tears won't hold. She was told some home truths. She had an affair with a married man and then married him a day after the divorce was finalized? All I care about now is my nibblings, and I'm afraid both losers will use them in this horror show. Yeah, she insisted to marry him a day after the divorce and made a big deal out of it, sharing memes about shackles breaking on her Insta stories. The C-word. I just can't get past what an a-hole your brother is. If I didn't have my niece and nephew, I would have never wanted anything to do with him ever again. But I want the children to have family and support, because they're gonna need it. Damn, girl. I find this extremely entertaining for me, but not you. I'm sorry. The real victims here are the children. I hope they go into therapy. The adults can go and get screwed. They're too young yet. They will probably need therapy the rest of their lives with these parents.